everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can everyone please stay standing for the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Whoops. All right. Good morning, friends, families, teachers, and my fellow graduates. It is an honor to stand before you on such a memorable occasion. I would like to welcome each of you to this commencement ceremony of the class of 2019. We have all worked so hard and come so far to stand before our loved ones today and mentors to celebrate this achievement. Thank you to our teachers, faculty, staff, and administration for all of the patience and guidance you have given us over the past 6 years. During my time within these four walls, I have learned many things about life and responsibility, but most importantly, I have learned that it takes hard work and dedication to do the things that need to be done. And we've done it. I would like to congratulate my fellow classmates for putting in the effort and doing great things. I look forward to hearing about your new and exciting journeys, and I wish each of you the best of luck with everything that you do in life. Thank you.
I got my ticket for the long way round. I'm gonna travel far away, and I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow. What you say? When I'm gone, when I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me so bad, my everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I got my ticket for the long way round.
Last night during our senior awards night, the Okemo Valley Women's Club was unable to present their award. So on their behalf, I would like to present their award today. The Okemo Valley Women's Club Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 goes to a deserving student with the desire for higher education. Congratulations to Levi Benoit. This year, 4 seniors were honored as summa cum laude for being the highest academic achieving students in their class. These students earned proficient with distinction in numerous courses and challenged themselves with a rigorous course load throughout high school. They have made Black River proud in their compassion towards others, demonstration of leadership, community and school involvement, and strong drive for success. Talari Anderson is well recognized for her kindness, talented writing, and passion for the arts, specifically dance and music. While attending Black River, she was an active peer leader in A World of Difference, an athlete on the cross-country team, and a member of the Rotary Interact Club. Talari spent her senior year taking accelerated courses as an early college student at Castleton University. She plans to attend UVM in the fall with a major in English. Ryan Boyle has exemplified leadership and community involvement at Black River through his participation as a student representative on the school board, president of National Honor Society, president of Rotary Interact Club, and co-president of Student Council. He has competed in Scholars Bowl and as an athlete on the varsity soccer, basketball, and baseball teams. Ryan plans to attend UVM in the fall in the College of Arts and Sciences. Riley Corrigan has stood out as a strong and positive role model for her peers at Black River through extensive peer leader work in A World of Difference and GLOW. She has also been a member of the Drama Club, Student Council, and Girls on the Run. Riley plans to attend Lesley University in the fall with a major in creative writing. Lucas Diaruda is well known for his strong student advocacy, academic drive, and for often being our go-to tech guy. Throughout his time at Black River, he has been an active member of A World of Difference, Drama Club, History Day, National Honor Society, and Scholars Bowl. Lucas plans to attend Bridgewater State University with a major in computer science. Please welcome 2 of our summa cum laude honored students to present speeches to their class today. Talari Anderson will present first, followed by Lucas Diaruda.
So I'll try to keep this speech short, as I can often say more when I speak less. Myself and 3 other graduates will walk out of this hall today with the honor of summa cum laude. This honor is undoubtedly different than the honors Black River graduates have been given before. For many years, the classes that graduated from this high school all competed for valedictorian or highest GPA or salutatorian or second highest GPA. Though the Black River students who have been awarded these honors certainly deserve them more than anyone else, sometimes it seemed like there were other students that were left out despite their hard work. I believe that while straight A's on every assignment one has ever completed in high school deserve the highest honor, there are still other students that have worked just as hard and deserve recognition. There's a reason colleges award many different academic honors at commencement. This rings true especially at Black River, as we have moved into proficiency-based grading, which with its total removal of number grades has made it very difficult to accurately calculate GPA and thus who will be valedictorian and salutatorian of any given class. Even disregarding proficiencies, it is undeniable that sometimes academic success comes both naturally and easily to certain students, while others have to work twice as hard to achieve that same success. I'm sure many of you remember the student from your high school class who seemed to get straight A's without lifting a finger. I certainly commend that student, but I also commend students who work just as hard or even harder than that student, even if they did not quite match that student's success. That's what high school is about. While intelligence and talent are small factors in your overall success, you will do your best work if you can accept challenges, better yourself, and work hard. This is why graduating summa cum laude is such a great honor. I am graduating with honors that group me with the hardest working and most serious students in my class. I'm proud to call them my peers, just as I am proud to graduate alongside each student in this class today. At this moment, Black River is making some occasionally scary transitions, and things often seem uncertain. However, this group of students displays the kind of person, worker, and thinker this school is capable of cultivating, and I know will continue to cultivate. I'm very humbled and honored to be a part of that. I wish my fellow graduates and honorees the best of luck in their future endeavors. I know that you will all go far.
Well, first, I want to congratulate all of my peers on stage with me today. I know we've all worked really hard to get here. Now, I'm sure most of you are expecting me to make some grand, profound statement about life and what I've learned in high school, or to offer some sage advice as to how to be successful. Well, I'm not. I spent day after day brainstorming what to say here and what my parting words will be. And after many subpar ideas and many more forgotten ones, I found inspiration in the most unlikely places. After feeling particularly defeated that I had just spent another class period staring at a nearly blank document for my speech, I took a bit of a break to clear my head by doing what most people my age do, playing a game on my phone. Over the past few weeks, a few weeks ago, I had the chance to participate in a beta test for an upcoming Mario Kart game for smartphones, and as I'm sitting slumped on the library couches playing this game, inspiration strikes. In a game of Mario Kart, you begin your race in last place. You see the 3, 2, 1, go countdown, and you're off. You weave and drift your way down the track, picking up item blocks and zooming your way to the lead. You're doing great. You're on top of the world. Or so you think. As you cross the finish line, completing your first lap, from out of nowhere, a blue shell comes and blows you up, sending you all the way back to 9th place. You continue with lap 2, feeling discouraged that you're now so far behind. You keep going, throwing away all of your seemingly useless green and red shells that the item blocks give you. But then it happens. Halfway through lap 3, you grab yourself yet another item block and gives you a bullet bill. Using this item turns your vehicle into a rocket that sends you blasting off back to the front of the pack. The finish line draws nearer, and boom, 2nd place. If all this sounds familiar, then, well, you've probably played Mario Kart. But high school can feel like this too. You start at the bottom of the social ladder, confused and uncertain of what will happen. You navigate through the twists and turns of school and life, and just when you think you've got it all figured out, something comes and screws you up. You feel defeated and just want to give up, but you can't. There's still time left in your race. If you keep going and make strategic use of your items, their resources in life, you can make your way back up to the top and cross the finish line here. And though you might not finish in 1st place, that doesn't matter. Odds are you had a good time getting here. Besides, there's always time for one more race. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker today, Jillian Zettler, better known around these parts as Jillian Trimbley. Jillian graduated from Black River in 2000 and has definitely gone on to make us presidents proud. After graduating from Black River, Jillian went on to Clemson University, where she majored in education. She has accumulated a lengthy list of accomplishments in various industries since then. Most recently, she is the major player in South Carolina's food scene, acting as the executive director for one of the country's biggest food and wine festivals. Jillian has done this guided by a fundamental belief in the power of kindness and credits her success to compassion and connection. When she is not crafting new ways to showcase Southern culinary talent, she teaches at a local spin studio. At the end of the day, she goes home to her son Ethan, daughter Liv, and husband Spencer, which she will tell you is the very best part of her day. Please welcome Ms. Jillian Zettler.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? I was saying as I was walking up here that this space used to feel so huge when I was much younger, and it feels quite big right now too. So I want to start by saying good morning and congratulations to the graduating class of 2019. It's my sincerest pleasure to be asked to speak today, and when I received the note from Paige Kelly for my participation, I felt this wave of gratitude pass over me, unlike anything that I had experienced in quite some time. I've been asked since my graduation here at Black River to speak in front of some pretty large crowds and some pretty amazing groups of people, but this felt very, very different. More about that in just a minute. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the reality of what today is for you, for this town, and for this school. If I could be so bold, I'd love to ask the teachers and faculty, past and present, to stand, be recognized. Thank you. Schools are the foundations for the communities they tirelessly serve. This school has served this community and people like me well. Cities and towns become vibrant, flourishing, desiring places to live because of their school systems. I am and always will be proud to be a Black River president. Today serves as the second to last graduation to ever take place at Black River High School. The second to last gathering of loved ones to wish their students well. The second to last turning of tassels. The second to last commencement speech. The weight of the responsibility in speaking to you today made it feel extremely hard to settle on something to share. I'm sure that for each of you, this final year of high school has been a collection of things that have often been categorized as lasts. Your last prom, your last winter carnival, your last first day, your last final, your last state championship. Congratulations, boys. Congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. O'Neill. I saw you walk in at some point. A collection of these lasts immediately transitions into firsts. First post-high school job, first day of college or trade school, first time living away from family, first time really making choices separately and without suggestion of others. As you move on into whatever may come next, the collection of days that made up your experience at Black River will inevitably become fuzzy. Take it from me, while Facebook has the ability to hop you back in time, it's amazing how the details fade. The invitation to speak with you today allowed for a time of reflection, to dip back and consider all of where I've come from, where I've been, and what I've learned in the space between my very own collection of lasts and standing here with you all today. Let me start by saying that I have absolutely no memory of what was discussed on my graduation day. All that I really, really remember is feeling like I really wanted my hair to be straight under my cap, and I could never quite get it to sit on top of my head properly. You see, these are the kind of memories that stick with you after 19 years. I'm sure that my former teacher, Mr. Alito, said something really, really inspiring and heartfelt that day, and I could have done quite a bit better job of paying attention, but all I could think about was how hot that polyester gown was and how horrible it was to sit there and look cute with that cap on top of my head. So we can make a deal from here on out. I won't hold you hostage forever, and you're forgiven if your mind has already started to wander to post-graduation parties and what's coming next this summer. So let's get to the place where I try to give you some of that sage advice, and hopefully one of the things I share with you today you can hold on to. 19 years after sitting on this stage, here are 5 things I know for sure. Number 1, you will make mistakes, lots of them. None of them need to define you. If I had $1 for every mistake I've made, I'd have the means to take this entire gymnasium on a very long, very beautiful tropical vacation. I spent most of my 20s ruminating over these things, the things I messed up on, better choices I could have made, how decisions from the past would chase me around forever. What a colossal waste of time. Have you heard this buzzy phrase that everyone talks about lately, the idea of being present? Does everyone know what I mean? Has everyone heard that, the idea of being present? Well, it's real and it's meaningful, but it's hard work and it involves a lot more than just putting your cell phone down. Being present means being in the now and not lamenting over the cards that were dealt our way. It means not being a victim of analysis paralysis of what was. Being present means not wasting time worrying about what may happen in the future. Make a mess. Make messes of epic proportions. Learn from them. And don't let anyone ever convince you that your past choices are permanently affixed to the present you. Messy lives are lives well lived. Number 2, surround yourself by people who are rooting for you at every page turn of your story. The best summation of this one comes from Dr. Brené Brown. Has anyone seen her Netflix special? No? Anyone? Come on, one hand? There we go, Mel, thank you. All right, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's called A Call to Courage. She's committed hours upon hours of research about shame and vulnerability. In a recent presentation, she makes one of the best analogies I've heard on this topic. Dr. Brown draws a comparison between those who are willing to live a bold life and those who are unwilling to step into an arena. She states, "A lot of cheap seats in the arena are filled with people who never venture onto the floor. They just hurl mean-spirited criticisms and put-downs from a safe distance. The problem is, when we stop caring what people think and stop feeling hurt by cruelty, we lose our ability to connect. But when we're defined by what people think, we lose the courage to be vulnerable. Therefore, we need to be selective about the feedback we let into our lives. For me, if you're not in the arena getting your ass kicked, I'm not interested in your feedback." In the spring of 2001, during my sophomore year at Clemson University, I found out I was pregnant. My baby would be due on Christmas Day. Many details of that day are already as fuzzy as my high school memories, but a few moments stick out in my mind. After receiving the news, I worked up the courage to tell my mom over the phone from 1,000-mile away. What do I remember about that conversation? That it was judgment-free. My mother immediately encouraged me to seek out my professors for the following semester, to ask each of them to understand that my baby might not arrive on time, and if not on schedule, that they refrain from dropping me from class for returning late post-Christmas break. I marched around campus seeking them out one by one, each time being told how happy they were to support me, that we could make work up, reading assignments provided in advance. When I was finally able to sit down with the last professor, my French professor, the only woman in the bunch, I'd finally begun to get my footing explaining my circumstances. Naively expecting more of the same, I was greeted with the following response: "Who do you think you are staying in school when you're pregnant? I won't remove you from my roster, but know that mothers belong at home with their children, and it's obvious that you already have your priorities out of order." I remember calling my mom to recount the exchange. My mom probably doesn't remember this. My mother was not fazed. Little did she know it, but what came next would be seared on my heart forever. She said, "Jillian, this woman does not know you. I do. And you will do what you have always done. You will succeed. You will stay in school, and you will finish." French professor, cheap seats. Mom, in the arena. Surround yourself with people rooting for you at every freaking page turn of your story. Number 3, just beyond the very worst experiences of your life are the best ones. Maybe life has already felt carefree. Maybe it's always felt really heavy. One thing I do know is that when I rewind the mixtape of my life, it's been put together much like the very best albums that I love. There may be several painful, sad tracks in a row, but the greatest artists show the power is in the resilience, and darkness must always be met by light. This little nugget of wisdom is easy to say, hard to remember, and feels nearly impossible to hold on to when you're in the thick of the tough stuff. In the past 19 years, I've lost a child, had friends lose children, lost friends, been miserable at work, felt miserable in relationships, been talked down to myself. The list goes on. A hairpin turn past the most excruciatingly hard moments of my life has always been the moments of deepest joy. There's a reason that they say growing up isn't easy. It isn't. It's unbearably hard sometimes. this is exactly when number 2 comes in handy again. Find the people in your arena, the ones down on the floor with you, and push through. On the other side of pain can always be resilience, and resilience is always, always, always a mark of strength. Number 4, patience, gentleness, and kindness. Paige already knew it because she put it in the introduction. With yourself and with others, it changes the game. Anyone that's worked with me over the past 5 years knows that these 3 words, passed along to me by my dad, have become a mantra of sorts. So much so that they're literally emblazoned in the bullpen on my team's office. Affectionately known by my crew as PGK, the crew knows that beyond financial success, beyond accolades and admiration, and far beyond being right, is asking, were you patient? Were you gentle? Were you kind in the process? Author, activist, philanthropist, and all-around human spark plug, Glennon Doyle, another person you should check out, said, "The amazing thing about love and attention and encouragement and grace and success and joy is that these things are all infinite. We get a new supply every single morning so we can give it away all day. We never ever have to monitor the supply or of others or grab or hoard. There will be more in the morning and it will be enough. Be patient, be gentle, be kind with yourself and with others." Number 5, there is something magic in these hills. I've made it a habit when I come home to go for lots of runs, partially because getting a good sweat has become something of my daily routine, partially because it's too hot to run in Charleston, but mostly because the beauty here nearly stops me in my tracks every single time. Admittedly, my favorite time to come is in the summer and the fall. Mountains are lush and green, lakes glisten, big gulps of clean, crisp, beautifully unadulterated air. But beyond maple creamies and changing leaves is the sense of community that I feel most nostalgic about. As you embark on writing the newest chapters in your book, whether you stay, only return home for the holidays, or pack your bags and never look back, look for the magic in the places where you live, and remember to be grateful for these hills. All right, so we're gonna do something kind of weird in closing here, okay? Can you bear with me? I want everyone to just roll their shoulders back, okay? Take a big, big, deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. See, this is the thing you're gonna remember now because it's getting weird, right? In through your nose, out through your mouth. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Big breath, close your eyes. In closing, I'd like to read an excerpt from author Danielle Dobie's book, I Am Her Tribe. You ready? Here's to the end of this chapter, to all the late nights, early mornings, learnings gained, and experiences shared. Here's to the hardships that become our teachers, to the heaviness that taught us how to rise again, and to the people who would stop their world to sit and celebrate our presence. Here's to the times we chose feeling over disconnection, freedom over perfection, courage over what's known and certain, and doing the work. Here's to releasing what wasn't ours to keep. Here's to holding our palms wide open to our blessings. And here's to taking one step forward into the hope and possibility of tomorrow. Here's to what's next, and here's to all of you. Namaste.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see
Jess, do you have my list? Do you have my list? That's it. And now we come to the portion that you've all been waiting for, the awarding of diplomas. For all of you that are angling for a photograph, they will be pausing here, and we will be awarding them as they come off the far end. So look a few people down the line from that far end if you're looking for anybody in particular. Olivia Murray. Aiden Michael Bortline. Logan David Hill. Riley Marie Corrigan. Lucas William DeRuda. Kylie Elizabeth Savory. Rebecca Lynn Rogers. Zachary Ryan Paul. Matthew Aaron Cavoto. Ryan James Boyle. Ryan Anthony Sheehan. Andrew Tyler Giwisek. Jonathan Lawrence Mason Peters. Gabriella Tobolgini. Aaron John Merrill. Emily Nicole Perham. Paige Clara Kelly. Cassidy Jenna Nicholson. Taylor James Bates. Zachary Marshall Connor. Cyrus Gregory Pickford. Adam Lee Staley. Jarrett Scott Staples. Hallie Emma Riley Elliott. Talari Jane Anderson. Christopher Clark. Heather Leanne Graham. Levi James Benoit. And Caitlin Ann Bushy. Seniors, step forward a few feet so you're in the gym. Tassels, right to left. Friends, family, community, I'm proud to present to you graduating class, Black River High School 2019.